Messina,
Right.
CMO of VEB. Now, is CMO an accurate title?
Well, you know, a Coca-Cola company, there's only one CMO.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
We had CMO up there, but so
Yeah, I mean, that's very generous of you. I think at a company like ours, there should only be one.
Yep.
I'm very honored to be in charge of marketing for VEB, though.
Okay, fair enough. You were a judge in the semifinal round of the New Beverage Showdown, and you've done this a couple times now. You know, what do you think of this crop of folks? Now, I asked you that on stage, but you know, live stream audience, you can elaborate a little bit further.
Well, a couple things. I've never done this round before.
Right. Yep.
So super cool because you really see 15's a lot and a lot at 7 in the morning. But you saw such a range of things from next gen to new versions of things that are kind of already hot. So I really enjoyed that. There's definitely a couple winners in there. I will tell you, we deliberated hard to get to 6.
Yep.
But there's some breakthrough things going on. There's some nice innovation in current categories, as I said. I enjoyed it a lot.
Yeah, you guys seem like you did. You know, it's funny because when you came out of the room, I saw you, and yeah, drinking 15 different beverages at 7 in the morning, that's kind of a tough task. But then seeing the presentations come together, I could see you guys thought there was a lot of promise there.
Yeah, and it's interesting, when you do the final round, you don't do the order like we just did, so we just literally got to taste something without the story.
Yep.
So the package and the taste had to do everything for us. That's all we had going for us. Then when you come in there and you get the story from the person, so a lot of them got brought to life, and a lot of them changed my mind, or I forgave maybe some taste.
Right.
Because of some other things that were more redeeming in terms of a story or an understanding of where they're sourcing from, and things that the package wasn't doing justice to. So it just does show you how you really do need the whole thing to come together.
Right. Yeah. Neil?
You know, I'm curious, Rebecca, like in the capacity that you work in at VEB, you know, we talk with so many brands that if they could only get to $5 million in sales, if they could get to $10 million in sales, but really for you know, with VEB always looking for the $1 billion, the next $1 billion brand, what is kind of like, I guess, the variables that you're looking for something to be kind of at that size versus, you know, what could still be a very successful beverage brand?
Yeah, very good question. And you're absolutely right. Like, we shouldn't be the benchmark only for what success is. It's got to be that billion. What we mean by that is it's got to be big. Yeah. There's got to be some scale to it. And big can come in many ways. There's international plays for us. There's lots of ways to grow these brands. But it's got to be a great pick. It's got to be on trend. It's got to be something we believe in. It's got to be something that we think is scalable. It's got to have a great management team. It's got to have a great story because we believe in emotional brands. And that's really our bread and butter. And they got to stand on strong functional attributes. And you know, we'll do a lot of the heavy lifting to get the brand over some of those corners. But if at the core those things aren't there, it's tough for us.
Right. Yeah. Now you mentioned on stage that Coke is looking and interested in plant-based beverages. You know, in terms of like what we saw today, and even some of the stuff we didn't see today, what are the categories that you find most interesting at this point?
Yeah, the plant-based are fascinating because you see them through the value-added dairy, so there's that whole plant-based side, but then there's all the plant-based waters and the functional waters. And so we are really watching them all. Now, interesting though is it's like, how are they different? Is right? Like, why is a maple or an aloe or a birch or a coconut? And I think that's where this is going to get very, very interesting.
Right.
Do we have room for all of those as individuals?
Yep.
But I think what we're really showing the world right now is that there's a lot to be sourced that we haven't been tapping into, bringing a lot of functionality forward. Some of them better on taste than others, but we're keeping our eye on all of them. I mean, as protein sources, as sources of antioxidants, algae, I think is coming up. You can't.
Algae that was really bleeding edge back in the day, but now you're starting to see it.
Yeah, we're seeing it in research, ethnography. We're seeing it. It's happening. It's abundant.
Yeah.
There's plenty of it.
Yeah. What I wanted to, one other question I wanted to ask was about Suja, and I don't know how much you can talk about it. You guys, obviously Coca-Cola and VEB, really VEB was leading the way in the Suja investment. I mean, it's still early for that relationship, but how's it going? Really well. Jeff Church and his team are so solid to work with. So they brought with them such a solid management team. They continue to innovate. They're a pleasure to work with. The product tastes great. Customers love it. Consumers love it. It's really, really going very, very well, and I'm very fortunate to be part of that brand. Great, and later today, Jeff Church is going to be speaking, actually, and telling us a little bit about working with you guys. Yeah, probably better to ask him than us how it's going. Right. Well, I figured I'd ask you. You're right here. So, but anyway, Rebecca, you know, you're such an important part of these conferences, and I really appreciate you being here and being a judge. So, thanks so much for doing that. Thank you guys. Thanks for having me. Thank you very much. Good seeing you again. All right. Nice to meet you. Likewise.